Welcome to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show, a real estate investment program. Listen and learn how to use real estate to build wealth and passive income streams for you and your family. We bring you experts every day to discuss and answer your questions on everything from single-family homes all the way up to 600-plus unit apartment complexes. And now, the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. I'm your host, Mike Harrison. And as always, we're working on your financial freedom. Today, I have an interesting show planned for you. I hope you can stick with me for the entire hour. I'm calling today's show A Tale of Two Plans. What do I mean by that? Well, let me break it down a little further. This show today is going to be about two completely different retirement plans. In fact, these two plans couldn't be any more different from one another. And for now, I'm going to call them Plan A and Plan B. And I'm going to use very specific real-world examples on both. So again, I hope you can stick with me for the entire show. If you do miss it, you know you can pick us up on your favorite podcast app. You can also find us on YouTube. Just type in Lifestyles Unlimited, and you'll find the YouTube channel there. You can always go to the Lifestyles Unlimited website. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Okay, most of you know Plan A very well because it is the plan. It's the plan that most people in this country are taught to follow at a very young age, and I call it the conventional wisdom plan. This is the one that you're told will enable you to retire and live a comfortable lifestyle. Again, the one that's pressed upon us from our earliest days, and it's everywhere. It's our parents, it's advertisement, it's our peer group, it's our work group, it's our social groups. Everybody's doing this. Let's call this the conventional wisdom plan, okay? What does that plan look like? Well, you've heard it before. You're going to go to school. And while you're at school, you're going to get good grades. And then when you graduate from high school, you're going to get into college. And then you're going to get a degree. And then you're going to get a good job. And then the next step is to enroll in your company 401k and hope that that company has a match. And more on that match later on in the show. And then we're going to feed this 401k for 40 plus years. I used to say 20, 30, or 40, but from the calculus that I've looked at, it needs to be 40 plus years, especially when I give you some real life details about this plan. And then you retire comfortably, right? It's that simple, my friends. It is that simple. You can follow it. Many of you listening to me right now are following this plan. So back to that 40 years. Why do I say 40 years? And you can torque this plan a bit, right? Maybe you don't go to college. Maybe you didn't get such great grades. Okay, there's slight differences, but you know where you sit. But the one constant for this plan to work, the one, you must have this for this plan to work, okay? It's not money. It's not rate of return. It's time. You've got to have that 40 plus years. Why 40 years? Well, every model that I look at online, the IRA 401k model, has you starting at 22. Every one of them. Look it up yourself. Pull them up online. They all have you starting at age 22. Okay? So if you're not 22 and you haven't started yet, I don't know what we're going to do. But when do you want to retire? Well, a lot of people say 65 or 70. 62 is the age, my friends. 62 is the age, like it or not. That's the median retirement age in this country. Some people may want to retire at 65 or 70, but they have to retire at 62 for one reason or another. Life gets in the way. So 62 is the number one age of people retiring in the country. And by the way, Social Security benefits do not begin until 62. So that's also, I believe, a catalyst of this. In fact, when I was doing research for today's show, one of the sources I reviewed had quote, unquote, normal retirement is ages 66 to 70. They had a bracket there, and they called that normal retirement. So I guess if you retire prior to age 66, that's abnormal retirement. So my friends, the conventional wisdom plan is essentially a 40-year plan. But what if I told you, after investing 40-plus years, what if I told you plan A, this conventional wisdom plan, doesn't always work? In fact, it mostly doesn't work. I'm not sure if that's correct English, but most of the time, this plan doesn't work. In fact, I'll tell you this, if you know where to look, where to read, how to listen to some of this stuff, the pundits are already prepping you to fail. It's there. You just need to know where to look, where to listen, and I'm going to share that in the next segment. You'll hear it. Plan B is much different. Wealth grows in Plan B on a much greater scale. In fact, it grows so fast, many people I know personally, have retired in 2 to 5 years. People are retiring so fast at Lifestyles Unlimited, we don't really call it retirement. We say retirement, but what we mean, we're talking about financial freedom, okay? And financial freedom for us is achieved when your passive income exceeds your financial obligations. So an example here, let's say your car note is $500 a month, your mortgage is, $1,800, groceries $400, let's say utilities $600, and I'm sure I'm wrong on these numbers, but basically I'm getting to, and you've got other expenses, $500 a month, basically I'm getting to about a $3,500 a month, your financial obligations, right? If your passive income is $3,500 or greater, if you grow it to that point, do you need to go to work? No. You can if you want, or you can do what you want, when you want, where you want, with whomever you want, on your terms. Okay? You can do anything you want. You can't do everything, but you can do pretty much anything. Okay? So it's a mathematical equation. Time times rate equals financial freedom. And it's about having a rate of return so large that timeline to retirement is shortened. Are you following what I'm saying? My name is Mike Harrison. We're going to go more into this conventional wisdom failure plan after this short break. This is the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show.
Welcome back to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. It's time to turn up the volume and fine-tune your passive income plan so you can create the lifestyle you've always wanted.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Mike Harrison. We're talking about a tale of two plans, the conventional wisdom world plan and then the plan that I follow in regards to creating wealth and ultimately retiring, financial freedom, right? If you've got any questions, or if you want to comment, or if you want to call the show with any real estate investing questions, our number is 855-497-4335, 855-497-4335, or feel free to email me. My email is real easy to remember. It's askmike at luinc.com, and that stands for Lifestyles Unlimited Incorporated, luinc.com. Okay, a tale of two plans, two vastly different plans. It couldn't be more polar opposite from one another. I'm going to call them Plan A and Plan B. And Plan A, if you listen to me in the first segment, it's the conventional wisdom world plan, right? It's the plan that most people in this country follow, and it's the one where you feed a 401k for 40-plus years, you get your company match, and then you'll have achieved a bag of money large enough to essentially retire, right, and live happily ever after. The problem is the plan doesn't work most of the time, and I'm going to highlight that frailty here. So there's a video that's online. You can watch it yourself. Go to usatoday.com. The title of the video, How You Can Save $1 Million for Retirement. Okay, I'm interested. Yeah, I'm going to click on that. How can I save $1 million for retirement? And I'm sure this video is out there for people that want to save $1 million for retirement. Now, I'm not here to talk about how much $1 million is. Maybe we'll touch on that in a little bit. But yeah, okay, let's click it. And it's only a 3-minute video. So as I watch this, I'm horrified. Absolutely horrified. I'm surprised so much damage can be done in only 3 minutes. So again, you may want to pull it up for yourself. I'm not going to share the names of the people that were on it because it's sad, okay? But the format of the video is essentially it's a Q&A with the USA Today columnist and red flag alert, a vice president from Fidelity Investments. Whose interest do we have here? Yours? So that you can save $1 million for retirement, or maybe somebody else's? So that might be your first clue. But anyway, most people won't see that, and they'll continue on. So the beginning of the video, the whole setup, the first part is these two folks discuss the characteristics of the $1 million saver. Okay, I'm interested. Step 1, save for the long haul. I told you in the first segment it's 40-plus years. They say 30-plus years. Step 2, take full advantage of the 401k company match. And they basically they assume a 5% match. I'll tell you that most matches out there, corporate-wise, they'll pay you 50% of the 3% that you save. Okay, 50% of the 3%. So the match really, if you're saving only 3, you end up at a 4.5% of your salary. But they're assuming 5. Okay, nice company. Then they say you need to save a minimum of 16% of your salary and add that to the company match. So basically, the people that were able to save $1 million were essentially able to put aside the equivalent of 21% of their annual income. And they say you put this into stocks, mutual funds, and their company stock. Okay, company stock is dangerous. Just ask people who worked for Lucent, who worked for Enron, and 100 other companies that burned in and took their company stock with them. But anyway, so after they get through the characteristics part, this video takes a dark turn. Okay, it's almost as if they know that saving for $1 million for retirement is somewhat incredibly rare. And then the host, actually, they say this, quote, they say, if you can't save 16%, then save 1%. Wow. Okay, that's it. You're not even going to get close. So I fell out of my chair at that part, and then I climbed back into my chair, and they go right into, quote, not everyone needs to save $1 million to retire. And yeah, I 100% agree with that line. Yes, most people, as in married couples, people with families, people with dependents, people with health care issues, those that actually want to travel somewhere after they've worked 40-plus years, they will need a heck of a lot more than $1 million to retire. But the way this video kind of floats it out there is they say not everyone needs $1 million to retire, with the connotation that there's misers out there that can live on much less than that. Doesn't sound like a great life, right? I did a whole show a few months back that 3 million's the new 1 million. And what I mean by that is I think 3 million's the number if you want a comfortable life. Why? Because people are living well into their 90s. And if you're retiring at 62, you're going to need 30-plus years of income. Then the video continues on. They say you'll need to save at least 8 to 12 times your salary. So they basically pivot from if you can't make it to $1 million, you need at least 8 to 12 times your salary. So if you make $40,000 a year, to me, what is that? 320 to 480 is the spread there. My friends, that statement's a hoax, unless you only plan to live a few years after your retirement. Okay, 320 to 480. Spread that over a 20-year period, it's not very much. Not very much at all. And I'm a firm believer. They always say, well, when you retire, your expenses are going to be so much less. No, they're not. They're going to be more. Everything is going to cost more in the future. Travel is going to cost more. Your vehicles are going to cost more. Your housing is going to cost more. Your medical, darn sure, is going to cost much more. Life in general is going to cost more. Things go up. It doesn't get cheaper, okay? But just when you don't think this video can get any worse, it says, if you wait until age 70, you may need less. And they stress the word may. So I'm not sure people tuning in are trying to learn how to save $1 million, and these people are proposing a life of misery. But the video ends with, I'll call it the grand dismount. They say, the host says to the vice president from Fidelity, what if you're tempted to tap into your 401k? And you would have thought that the host proposed some horrific act, something just god-awful. What if someone proposes mass extinction? And the look on her face changed, and the answer was an unequivocal no. You must invest for the long haul. You must be a sheep within my system so I can bill you fees and charges here and charges there, because we like to make 6- and 7-figure salaries. We like to live in high-dollar houses, and we like to drive BMWs. But you, my friend, you need to live a life of misery so you might be able to save $1 million. Well, that's no plan. When we come back, we're going to talk Plan B, a much better plan, a much friendlier plan. But the catch is we're going to do it through the eyes of real people and real examples. My name is Mike Harrison. We'll be right back after a short break.
We're back with the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. We're here to answer your questions and help you become financially free.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Mike Harrison. If you'd like to call our show, our number's 855-497-4335. Or please send me an email. I do respond personally to each and every email that I get from our listeners. Ask Mike at luinc.com. Ask Mike at luinc.com. You can also find us on the YouTube channel, the Lifestyles Unlimited YouTube channel, and you can find us on your favorite podcast app. Today I'm reviewing, I call it a tale of two plans, two vastly different retirement plans. One's the conventional wisdom world plan that most of us live in or have lived in, and many of you out there are still living within, and the truth is, it just doesn't work for the majority of people. And I've got some real examples here. So, assumptions versus reality, the actual 401k balance by age. So, if you were with us in the previous segment, I reviewed an article by USA Today, How to Save $1 Million. Not to mention $1 million is not going to do it, but how do you get there? And they told us in the video, and essentially when you analyze the data, it's just simply very, very rare. It's very rare. It's very difficult. Most people just can't set aside 16% of their salary. Most people did not have the ability or did not start at age 22, but that's when they say you need to start, is at age 22. And most people just don't have that extra 5% company match within their 401k. So I think they're stretching the bounds of reality to try to get you to that $1 million. And the truth is there. People are not making it. So this is not my information. This is from Vanguard, okay? And Vanguard's another large investment firm like Fidelity, okay? So this one, it's called Assumptions versus Reality, the 401k balance by age, okay? So age 22 to 25, the average balance is $4,200. The median, and median, again, means half the people have less and half the people have more. Median is really a real indicator of how you're doing, more than average. And I say that because there are folks out there that have $2, $3, $5, $10, $12 million in their 401k. The very high-end earners, the CEOs, the CFOs of large corporations have multi-millions in their 401k. And if you just take the average balance, it's going to pull that number up. So we need to look at the median. Ages 25 to 34, it's $8,100. 35 to 44, okay? You better start getting serious at 35 to 44 if you're going to hit that million. Well, the median is only $22,000. 45 to 54, you can see retirement on the horizon. The median is, again, $40,000. Half the people have less, half have more. 55 to 64, again, most people retire at age 62, so this is right there in the swing of it. $61,000 is the median 401k balance. And then at age 65 plus, the median is 58. That's dismal. That is dismal. People are not going to be able to retire on that. They're just not. Okay? And if they're forced to, they're going to live in poverty. So there you have it, my friends. No matter how many phony how to save $1 million articles or videos or advertisements they create, these are really advertisements. They're not informative, educational information. That's why I say this is dangerous. If you're really going online and you're saying to yourself, boy, I want to focus on my retirement, and you see this video, how to save $1 million for retirement, it's going to break your heart because you're going to realize you can't do it. It's really an advertisement for you to give your treasure, your blood, your sweat, your tears, your everything you worked for to a third party, and then cross your fingers and hope that they can crunch that into $1 million. And that's just not a good plan, my friends. It's not a realistic plan. The world has changed. I hope you caught my show from last week. If not, go back and find it. But times have changed. We're in a new era. So let's look at a different plan. Let's look at, I call it Plan B, real estate investing. Plan A is not working. Let's look at this. So we're going to look at this through some real-life examples. We had a case study last Thursday evening. It's our virtual case study. We're doing everything virtually now. We'll get back in person soon. But it's virtually, and it's very inspiring. And if you don't know what a case study is, real people get up and they tell their story about a particular investment or investments that they've made within lifestyles. They share their returns. They share how they did it. They share how they found it. And it's just real people. And it's so uplifting, okay? And these people aren't bragging. They're just saying, hey, here's the home I purchased, and here's what we did, and here's the return, okay? And we call that the case study, and we do that throughout the month. But these are people, these are good people that live in the same world as you and I, and they realize that Plan A is just spinning that gerbil wheel, and it's not getting them anywhere. So there's 3 case studies. We do 2 single-family, 1 multifamily during a evening of case studies, okay? And then David Fisher gets up and he talks about what we do and how we do it and the advantages of it. But the first case study is Chad and Tiffany, okay? And they joined in 2008, and Tiffany, this lady has a lot of energy, okay? She is going places. They joined Lifestyles Unlimited in 2018. Very important here, absolutely 100% no real estate experience. This is a corporate lady involved in the business world, very sharp, but she didn't know anything about real estate, and neither did I when I joined. I just knew that the conventional wisdom plan wasn't working, and I can either bury my head in the sand and pretend I wasn't going anywhere or do something different. Well, that's what Tiffany did. She did something different. She read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Excellent book. Anything you can read by Robert Kiyosaki is going to be eye-opening. I wholeheartedly agree. She realized that she had been doing everything wrong. So a friend of hers mentioned Lifestyles Unlimited, and this friend's brother actually owns 4 rental properties in Houston. So her highlight at case study was the second home that she purchased, and she purchased it just recently, August of this year, August of 2020. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, 972 square feet, built in 1943. Okay? Follow me here. The before and after rehab she did on this home is amazing. I mean, this home is night and day. It went from like a weird beige to a beautiful gray with the crisp white trim, the red door, massive curb appeal. Beautiful little home. Cute as can be. She put the hardwood vinyl plank and the tile in the bathrooms and redid the showers. I mean, tricked out the interior. It's any place that any of you would gladly live in. Okay. So the GC on the property was actually 3 days ahead. So basically, once she got the home done, rehabbed, she had 22 inquiries to rent that home within 24 hours. Is it a hot rental market or what, my friends? But here's the numbers. So her purchase price was $110,000. Okay. Her rehab and closing costs were $39,000. The property appraised at $168,000 when she was done. Her total out of pocket was only $26,000. How many of you have $26,000? Listen to me here. When she purchased this home, she created an equity capture of $58,000, but after rehab, really it boiled down to $19,000. Okay, her return on that capital gain, that's a 71% return. She invested $26,000 to create an additional $19,000 on top of that $26,000. This property rents for $1,295 a month. Essentially, once she pays her principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, that leaves her a cash-on-cash return of 15%. Okay, so you made a cash-on-cash return of 15%. Her cash flow is an additional $336 a month. Does that sound like a better plan, my friends? My name is Mike Harrison. We're going to continue discussing Plan B, real estate investing, creating passive income and wealth. We'll be right back with the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show after a short break.
And now a word on retirement from Del Walmsley.
The average person thought they'd retire at 59 and a half, 60, then they said 64, then it was 65, then it was 66, then all of a sudden they jump right to 70. 70 is the new 59, 70 is the new 64. Then it was, hey, most people are going to work all the way into their 80s.
Do you really want to work in your 80s? Or would you like to retire in 5 years or less? Find out how on Lifestyles Unlimited's live online free workshop. Register at lifestylesunlimitedworkshop.com.
Welcome back to the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show. Now, let's get back to your map to financial freedom.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Mike Harrison. Today we're discussing a tale of two plans, two very different plans. Plan A, the conventional wisdom rat race plan, and Plan B, real estate investing. And we're discussing Plan B through the light of real people, real examples through our case study that we just had last Thursday night. And we do, I believe, 3 or 4 of these a month now, virtually. It's great. If you want to attend one of our case studies virtually and you're not a member of Lifestyles Unlimited, send me an email, askmike@luinc.com, askmike@luinc.com. The examples you'll see are truly life-changing. You should tune in and see it for yourself. It's people just like you, just like me, that decided to make a change and get out of the rat race, get off of the gerbil wheel that's taken them nowhere. So do you want to get out of the rat race one day? Or do you want to roll the dice for 40 years and continue to give your blood and treasure to a third party that's getting rich off of your money and you're not getting rich off of your money? Well, if you want to see how to do something a little different, attend one of our free workshops. It's super easy. It's freeworkshoplivestream.com. Freeworkshoplivestream.com. That's how I started. I actually attended one in person, but you can live stream, so it's even easier now. But it's not a video. It's not a webinar. You're participating, or maybe it is a webinar, but you can ask questions, discussions. You can sit in with your best friend, your spouse. Maybe your spouse is your best friend, right? That's how it is at my house. That's great. But take a look at what we do. See how we make money 5 ways in single-family homes. See how we make money 6 ways in multifamily communities. So our next free workshop's October 6th, and then after that we have one October 13th. If you want to join Lifestyles Unlimited, right now, Del Walmsley is running, I'll call it the COVID special, but because of COVID, more people are trapped at home and people are hurting. So he's lowered the price to only $297. And you get 2 years. It's a buy one, get one free. And let me tell you, it was much more expensive when I joined, okay? And it was worth every single penny. The only thing is, I wish I had done it years earlier. Well, how do you join? That's at financialfreedomlivestream.com, financialfreedomlivestream.com. All the benefits are 16-hour financial freedom seminar. We will teach you how to invest in real estate properly. Okay, so the tale of two plans. I was talking about Tiffany at our case study. She was the first person, and I'm probably not going to get through all three. They only give us an hour, right? Really 40 minutes. So Tiffany, I did the example of the second home she purchased in the previous segment. The first home she actually bought was in 2019, okay? She essentially wanted to see what we did and test the waters. So it was a very safe play on her part. She essentially bought a property that was already rehabbed and ready to go, from what I understood. Still made $26,000 in equity capture, okay? The cash flow is definitely less than on the second house, the one that needed the much greater rehab. But her total on just these two houses in essentially 2 years' time, less than 2 years, she's got an annual extra cash flow of $5,343 and an equity capture of $44,825. And so many of you out there are probably saying, oh, she's only making an extra $5,000 a year. This lady she's on fire now. She's seen the plan. She's tried it. She's put her foot in the water. She knows the water's fine. But okay, I hear you naysayers out there. Let's say every 2 years, she buys one house a year, right? For 10 years. So she ends up with another 10. Multiply essentially that 5,300 by 5, right? So that was two houses. So that would be $25,000 a year, but her equity capture would be well over $200,000. That's going slow. She's not going to look back in 10 years and only be making $25,000. This lady is going to accelerate her plan. And in fact, she's realized that your bigger gains and your cash flow come with essentially a home that needs more love, more rehab. And guess what? The uglier and the more beat up it is, following our model, just don't go pick out the ugliest house you can and buy it. Get educated. But essentially the cash flow is greater, okay? The cash flow is much greater. So her second property is a better investment than her first property. She learned. So how has lifestyles changed her? Well, she says buying homes is a better investment than buying an MBA. Imagine that. Think of that. The educational elite are falling out of their chairs right now. No, an MBA is far more successful. Nope, she's making cash flow with much less investment, less time, less money out of pocket, and she's building that cash flow. So she has new tools to take action. She's encouraged. And get this, more family time, more family activities. That's priceless, my friends, priceless. Her advice, use your mentors. It's not as scary as it sounds. This is not Harrison saying this. This is Tiffany saying it. It's not as scary as it sounds. You only need a little bit of money. You don't have to have $1 million to start. Now, if you do have $1 million, boy, we can maximize that quickly. But you only need a little bit to start, and then you start creating much better returns. Think of that example I gave you of where people really are in their 401k. Tiffany's already made $44,000 in just a few months. In fact, most of the people in a 401k today don't have $44,000 in their 401k. Or at least half, not most, but at least half. And then her quote is, this is totally outside of the comfort zone that we've been taught. Wow. I've said that many a time. Okay, case study 2. This gentleman's name is Kimball. Okay, it's from Huntsville, Alabama. He was a former Army infantry officer. Wow. He heard of Lifestyles Unlimited, and he actually drove up to Nashville to see one of our mentors, Lee Reeves, talk. And if you don't know Lee, great guy, very smart, very savvy. He retired from the Army after 28 years, and his pickle was that he took a 2/3 pay cut upon retirement. Okay, you get a pension. Actually, they don't even do the pension anymore. But he took a 2/3 pay cut upon retirement, so he knew he needed to do something else. He had heard Dell on the radio, and he actually owned 3 rental properties prior to Lifestyles Unlimited. But he was looking to leverage his equity to buy more and build wealth, again, because he retired and he knew he needed to provide for himself and for his family. So he joined our program and went straight to the preferred level. And send me an email. I'll be happy to discuss our different levels of membership or put you in touch with somebody that can. So he went right to our preferred level. Why? Because he wants to work for himself. He wants to build wealth. And here you're going to hear this theme a lot, because I'm sure you want to do this. He wanted to buy back time with his family. This gentleman is an Army infantry officer, and we thank him for everything he did. He spent a lot of time away from home, a lot of time away from his children. So he says, look, if I'm going to retire, I'm going to do something where I can invest some time with my family. Good for him. So this man did not hesitate. He did not wait, right? Imagine an Army officer delaying. No, he did not. He bought 3 properties during COVID, all in Houston, Texas. Now, if you listen to me, I said he lives in Huntsville, Alabama. He bought 3 rental properties in Houston. He's never visited these homes, okay? Is that against your conventional thought process of owning a rental property? You think you have to own the one next door or across the street or in the same town or in the same neighborhood? No. Live where you want, invest where you want. With our plan, we can help you, okay? So this was the second home. Let me give you some math on this. And this home was a home run, my friends. This rental property is a home run. Purchase price was $77,000. His rehab and closing costs were $39,000. It appraised at $154,000, okay? That's an initial equity capture of $77,000, but we do need to back that $39K on the rehab and closing out of that. That left him with a net equity capture of $37,000. His out-of-pocket, are you ready for this, was $19,343. So for $19,343, he captured $37,000 in equity. That's 192% return. 192 on one deal in one transaction. But it gets better. Can you do that? Are you doing that in your 401k? No, you're not making 192% return. Let's talk about cash flow. That's why we buy these properties, actually. It's not necessarily for the equity capture. That's gravy. It's there when we do it right. So this property rents for $1,350 after he pays his principal, his interest, right? His mortgage, his insurance. Well, essentially that is a cash flow of $522 per month on this one property. That is a cash-on-cash return of 34%. You will not find that in the conventional wisdom world Plan A in your 401k.
The Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show is for entertainment purposes only. Please consult a professional regarding your personal investment needs. Nothing presented on the Lifestyles Unlimited Real Estate Investor Radio Show constitutes an endorsement, recommendation, offer, or solicitation to buy or sell any product or security.